Alright, I decided to just say screw it and do a video. This video is very important, so let's go. Lust is lust is lust is the lowest vibration ever. Lust is absolutely the lowest vibration. The reason why it's the low vibration is because it's the exact opposite of love. Love, for better or worse, is unification with the infinite, unification with the divine. And it doesn't have any needs or desires. It just is what it is, and it's pure, and it's just happy to be itself. It isn't looking to gain anything. Lust is the opposite. Lust is unification with the 3D, unification with what you see, and it's the desire to unify with what you see, even though you never really can, and it'll never really be satisfied. That's still what lust is. It's the desire for that. Now, even though lust is the lowest vibration, and lust is the opposite of love, the true highest vibration of all time is bliss. Not love, but bliss. Because bliss is when you finally 100% unite with the divine and everything is complete. But love is sort of the step down version of bliss because it's not the full oneness. It's still the gateway to it, but it's not fully the embodiment of it. Now that we got that out of the way, the propaganda about, oh man, you have to fight lust, oh, beware of women and that are going to try to get you in a lustful state and all this type of stuff, it's all bullshit. Don't fall for it. It's propaganda to get people to engage and to get people to feel like they're doing something productive or powerful. Lust is not something you need to fight against. Lust is not something you need to wage a war about. Anybody that tries to convince you of that is just trying to rile you up and trying to give you a fake enemy. The only way to defeat lust is by embodying bliss and love, the highest vibrations. Once you do that, it all falls away. I don't want to get into succubus and Jezebel spirits because all of that is irrelevant. I can get into it, but it's irrelevant because it doesn't matter. You are everyone you encounter anyway. So if you encounter a Jezebel spirit that tries to control you, manipulate you, and most of all, drain your energy, extract your energy, that's your fault. Just like vampires, any evil entity can only enter into your space if you allow it. That's why vampires in the lore are not allowed to enter your house unless you give them direct consent and permission. You can't trip on them. They just do what you let them. So, with that being said, do not worry about all these Jezebel spirit entities that they try to make you be afraid of. You are the Jezebel spirit. You are the succubus for yourself because you're allowing all of these things into your space. With that being said, the most important thing that I could say so far is you need to forgive yourself for being weak. You need to forgive yourself for times where you gave into weakness. And not just forgive yourself, but see yourself for who you really are, understand where you fall short, and be present with yourself. But not be down on yourself, not feel guilty, because that'll only create more patterns where you run back to the bullshit. All right? I had some notes upstairs, but I left them. Anyway, think about lust and any negative emotion as a candle. Well, better yet, think of the people who are trying to drain your energy as candles, right? And the only way to melt them is with the fire of love and presence. You can't expect any kind of peace or any kind of freedom or any kind of revenge or defeat, or revenge or victory over anybody else until you have that peace and that love. What I mean by peace and love is you see people who are evil, you see people who want to seduce you, who want to drain your energy. You can't look at them as an enemy. You have to look at them for who they truly are. People who are afraid, people who are trapped in illusion, people who are lost. Now, yes, those people can be very dangerous to themselves and others, but that doesn't mean you need to resent them or hate them for it. All right? So, when you embody love, it's not just a state of being sweet to somebody, it's a state of seeing them for who they really are and accepting them for it and being present. That's the key thing, is present and being aware. Other than that, nothing else matters if you're not present and aware. In my personal experience, dealing with seduction and lust and all that type of stuff, you can defeat any sort of lustful thoughts and lustful urges with the love of God. And the love of God is pure presence. It's pure observation. It's not judgment. It's not labeling. It's just watching it and observing it and then just being at peace with it. And if you give into it because you're not strong enough to fight it just yet, be present with yourself while you're giving into it. Watch yourself from a bird's eye view and see that it's taking over you and that you're not strong enough to control yourself. And then I guarantee you it'll give you the strength and presence more and more and more, and you'll be able to stop yourself. You'll be able to catch yourself. The last thing, maybe the second to last thing, but this is really the last thing. When it comes to revenge, you don't need it, okay? Revenge essentially is when you lower your vibration and lower your standards and lower your place in order to give someone the same pain that they gave you. I'm telling you this now, you do not need revenge at all. You do not need to worry about getting better, growing, or achieving anything in order to spite the people who did not believe in you. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart, it's not necessary. You'll only be left unhappy. Only. So, instead of getting revenge, shine the light of presence on your desire to get revenge. Watch the urge and be like, oh, I want to. Watch yourself and realize you do not need revenge at all. Whoever hurt you, you do not need to hurt them back. It is okay. I promise you. I think I said everything I wanted to say. But, of course, that's how I truly feel. Stop falling for the propaganda of lust. It's not no enemy you need to defeat. It's something you need to shine your presence on, and then it'll melt away like a candle. That's for everybody you deal with. Now, of course, like I said before, you can be honest, you can be clear when you truly feel like that's a necessity for you to shine honesty and truth onto certain people when you feel like they need to hear it. But it doesn't need to be at the cost of your own peace and your own abundance. Okay? Last thing I'll say, which I kind of regret not even thinking about mentioning because it's the most important thing. Forgive me for constantly cutting the video. I just interruptions and I had to get some ice in this, I'm not gonna lie. This is the most important thing I could say in the video. I literally just mentioned how bliss is the highest vibration, but I didn't even tell you how to experience it fully, and that is literally the most important thing. What is the opposite of lust? Love. What is the highest form of love? Bliss. Okay, so just like how you are with lust and how you truly, truly yearn to be one with maybe somebody or something, bliss is the opposite of that, where you're free, where you're already complete, where you're already whole, where you're already completely just immersed in whatever you're doing. You don't have any thoughts. You don't have any past. You don't have anything to forget or remember or experience or avoid. It's just completely just emptiness. And I would say bliss comes from the abyss. But I also want you to hear, like, when I say emptiness, I don't mean emptiness in a sad way. I mean emptiness in the most fulfilling way, in the most peaceful way, in the most loving and full way. It's emptiness, but it's fulfilling at the exact same time. And bliss can only be experienced by some of the highest vibrational people on the planet. Lust is an inverted version of bliss. Lust does feel like bliss, but it's only because it's coming from the external, not the internal. So when you experience bliss, it's literally like a orgasmic experience, but it's not coming from anything except for your quality of consciousness and your presence and your ability to just let go and release and fulfill all of your duties and all of your thoughts. Bliss is, that's the state. Painters maybe can only get into it when they're painting. Musicians maybe can only get into it when they're making music. Gamers sometimes get into it when they're gaming, but that state of bliss, that state of there's nowhere else I want to be on the planet, there's nowhere else, there's nothing else I want to be doing, there's nothing else I need, there's nothing else I want, it's just I'm complete. You know, and I think that what we do with our life should be somewhat correspondent to what really brings us bliss, you know, like following your bliss. Maybe that's what this whole thing is about anyway, but what do I know? Chronos Ambrosia, thank you.